Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. Sinks is playing Mr. Guy. Holy smokes, what a game. I don't know. I mean, like, top people on the ladder meet each other all the time, but it's still cool to see when it happens. What's going on here? It seems like Mr. Guy has more attackers. What is Sinks' advantage? He has more blood phages, and therefore more economy. He has more green, for what that's worth. I like Mr. Guy's position here quite a lot. So, by the way, when you have blood phage, I think it's usually better not to buy Scythe, but to instead just click the phage and buy NG. The Scythe threatens to attack, which is something, I guess. But usually you want to use Scythe as a defender. I don't know. So the point is, the Scythe costs the same as an NG when you have blood phage around. And so if you're using it strictly as a defender, then Engineer is better because it's a turn faster, which is like a pretty big deal. Oh no, I'm gonna get matched up against one of these guys. Right, so if you're using it strictly as a defender, NG is better. Yeah, Mr. Guy again. Bleh. I always get clobbered. But Scythe threatens to attack, and I'm not sure how important that is. Wow. So there's a lot of green, like, I mean... Tia and Cluster are both big green pressure units, and, like, so is Scorchilla, sort of? And Gauss Fab is a green unit that gives you some staying power. You can build it before the, say, the Tia. But there's not really a good way to go breach-proof here. I don't know. Tia, right? Breach-proof drones, sort of. But there's also, like, Polywall as a big defender that can maybe withstand all this junk. I don't know. I think Polywall clearly beats, like, just Tia, and it beats just Cluster. Is it good enough against Tia and Cluster? Probably. In that case, like, what is the best attacker in this set? Kind of feels like Scorches and Vores, right? And if you could get a Gauss Fab, that would be great, although I don't know, can you? Maybe you just go Cluster Gauss Fab. Don't even get red. I don't think that's enough attack fast enough. Someone can go high econ Polywalls against that, I think. Or like Polywall plus Gauss Fab, right? So I don't think we want to like cut a drone to build a conduit here. Yeah. I mean, you could say Reservoir is a good attacker in this set, because, like, Polywall is a soak, but I don't think that that's good enough. This obviously screams Gauss Fab if I do this, and I don't think that's a great idea. Like, there's no real reason to cut drones here, except that it means my opponent won't get the first Gauss Fab, but I don't think that's really such a great thing anyway, is it? Like, I think this is just better. Well, I don't know. I do want a Gauss Fab early. I think I'll try this. I don't know. M. Sven's Gauss Fab video came out today, and I watched it, and I'm like, oh, I should buy Gauss Fabs all the time. Oh, he's getting the first one anyway. I don't know why I thought he wasn't. Oh, whatever. What if I get a Tia? Like, there's not actually much soak in green, right? So if he buys a Gauss Fab here, I just Tia him and kill all his drones, and I think I can get through the Fabricator fast enough as well? Maybe I can't, actually. Maybe I can buy some Scorches and then a Tia, and that's a bit more oomph. Or like Scorch Rhino into... So let's say I do Tia here, right? I know, right? Death comes, yeah, everything. He has enough force fields to hang on until the Tia is exhausted, so I can't do that. I don't have any good Scorches. Scorch emotes. I don't have any cheap ways to spend blue, so that doesn't seem so great. I'm gonna lose this stupid Gauss Fab. I don't want to let him get down a wall and like... I didn't want to let him get down a wall and then a poly wall, right? I wanted him to have to, like, if he builds a poly wall, not get much out of it. Not be able to absorb as well as build a giant poly wall. And right now my Scorches are set up to deny a polywall next turn, because I can actually hold the Tia if he builds it. It's funny because this video, like, Sven did a video on like Tia versus Gauss Fab, and Tia gets absolutely smashed. That was one of the games in his video. And it, I think it still loses, but I don't know. I just like... I didn't know what to do, and it seems like with Scorch and Vor, Tia puts on a lot of pressure. We'll just get a Tarsier. Next turn I can like force field cluster, maybe. That's probably, I probably can't build cluster bolts, can I? Holding the Tia is not actually that great, is it? Like, the Vor is attacking for 1 anyway. Oh yeah, how am I ever getting through all those Gauss cannons that he's already made, right? I would have to kill the Fabricator next turn to have a chance, and I don't think that that's enough either. This does kill the Fabricator. Now it doesn't. Yeah. God. Okay. So, here's the thing, though. I just have to survive and kill this Fabricator somehow, which, gotta be honest, doesn't look like I can do that. Oh yeah, he has clusters too. No, I'm way dead. Okay, fine. I mean, I don't know. I knew that like just Tia wasn't gonna work, but I also felt like if I just mirror the Gauss Fab, which is what would happen if I didn't build the Animus here, right? Once I build the Animus, obviously I'm committed to doing something else, but say I just mirror the Gauss Fab next turn via, I don't know what line exactly. I just feel like what he did is completely bad, and it should lose to everything. There's no support for Gauss Fab here, except Cluster. Okay, Cluster's actually a big deal. I keep... Yeah. Okay. I don't know. You can't put pressure on fast enough against this. Not with Polywall there also. Maybe without Polywall I had a chance, although I don't think so. I mean, yeah, he could just have built a few more force fields to defend this turn, which would honestly not be that bad for him. Although, maybe he could then not Cluster Bolt me, and... I don't know. It's just not enough attack to deal with all the Gauss cannons, right? Tia's too focused on immediately winning, and Fabricator just like shrugs off Tia basically. I thought maybe with Scorches I could get through hard enough, but I think if I'm gonna do something with red, I have to build a lot more Scorches before I go into Tia, which is gonna make my double conduit bad. So this is sort of a line that's like halfway in between two things, and while it's not clear that either of those things actually works, going in between is like definitely worse. Like if I want to go just red, then I should just get one conduit, or maybe even none on this turn. Build Tarsiers, they're pretty good. Or I should just like actually follow up with the Gauss Fabricator. I don't know why I thought for some reason he couldn't build enough conduits to get the Gauss Fab. I think this turn I just sort of like chickened out of what I had been planning to do because I had $6 and I didn't know what to do with it. But just another conduit would have been fine. And so having done this, I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to get a bunch of Scorches, but I don't think that those are putting on pressure nearly fast enough. I don't know. I still don't understand Gauss Fab. It's supposed to be losing to go for it right away, like into space plus Gauss Fab. But here there's Cluster and Polywall, which seem to make it good enough, but I'm not totally sure. I mean, Mr. Guy can beat me with it even if it's not good, right? So the fact that I lost is not necessarily proof that it was a good line, but, you know, then again, Mr. Guy took it, so, like, how bad can it be? Oh, we're against Capula Killer. We're on TV. I don't have the I'm a big fan emote. I don't watch his stream that much, but every so often I come by. Player 1. There's a lot of big, like, there seems to be good support for Odin, right? With Auric Impulse and a couple big blue units, right? Energy Matrix and Drake. Likewise, sort of, Comet. It's kind of in support of Odin, because Odin tends to want high-ish economy, and Comet is good for that. There's a red sync, so you're not tied to your red. I don't think Ice Blades are that meaningful. Nevos could play a big role tactically at some point, because Energy Matrix is a very juicy target. And Odin sort of has some anti-synergy with Matrix, because you don't want to use your Odin to defend when you have Energy Matrix. But in that case, clicking Odin is usually fine. I'm inclined to go for the Auric into Odin line. Picking up a Militia on the way, probably. Or it could be a Splitter. I don't see anything that's really amazing against that, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Drakes are fast enough, but I think probably not with Auric. Right? I think you should be able to get an Odin down even against Drake pressure. And then once you have the Odin, you're doing a lot more than they are. Drake would also be a great way to tech back down from Odin to just double blue, because you don't really want 3. I'm not sure exactly how to work that in. Presumably after the Odin, right? You pick up a Drake as soon as you are no longer needing to buy a million walls. So like you get a Matrix and a Militia, and then you get like a Drake and a Militia or something. Maybe Drake and a wall. Then in turn after that, you kind of still need to spend 3 blue, Matrix something. But after that, Drake has sold back one of your forges, and you can stop being so blue heavy. Why? What? BB? But you... What do you want? If you're getting the 3rd Engie, what's the Auric for now? Oh, there's probably a player 2 line that is even better at getting a super fast Odin, right? With Auric? Yeah, that's true, I think. What do you do? Just buy 3 Aurics next turn? No. Maybe. I mean, that's sort of what you're saying you're going to do, isn't it? That leaves you $7? I'm not sure what the idea is here. The Auric feels weird, but it probably fits fine somehow or other. I'm not too worried about it because I can get out a wall, so... Okay. I guess you'll... I'll get to see a cool line. This doesn't look right. You should be building one Auric this turn, surely. Last turn it was a bit weird, but probably fine. This turn I don't think it's likely to be right. If you want to get Odin out before me, you have to buy 2 forges next turn, which means you just have $5 left. And 14 drones, so that is not enough to get an Odin. You must, if you want an Odin next turn, turn one of these drones, at least one drone, into an Auric. That's not to say you must do that. Maybe you're planning some kind of Drake line, in which case I haven't really thought about it, but this seems fine. Yeah. So this looks more like an Odin line. What exactly is the Odin line my opponent is taking here? Forge leaves you $8. And 12 drones. Which means all you could do is buy 2 more Aurics, and I guess an Engi. You can't actually spend the blue this way, whereas I can get down a wall or a militia, depending. Okay, I mean, I think I'm okay with this. I'm sort of committed anyway, right? But I'm just sort of curious about what my opponent's going to do. One more Auric. That was the line I... What? It's free! You have Auric Impulse in your float. Oh my god. Okay, so you're gonna attack me for 7 next turn. Which means I'd like... Well... So we're doing this, right? We're getting 2 forges. And we're getting something. What exactly? I could get a militia. But I think a splitter is probably better as something that can defend. And then next turn I can also hold 2 drones, which exactly defends against the Odin while still buying my own. Or I could just get a wall. And save $1. Save, yeah, $1. I think that's fine. I could cut an Auric by 1 Engi, 3, 5, but that's not enough, right? Then I can't get the Odin. So I don't want to do that. I think I just do this, hold 2 drones, build Odin. What about a Drake line? Is there a good Drake line? I don't know, I want the Odin. I'll be up several drones on my opponent. More able to spend my tech. Well, actually not up several drones if he, that's assuming he swings with Odin, actually, which is very difficult to do. Yeah, these drones are just buying insurance, right? I'm not actually sacking them, probably. I don't know, he probably buys a Matrix, right? And then you might as well swing with Odin? I don't know. Yeah, okay, well, you got me. So opponent threatens 6 next turn. Matrix defends. Although actually I'm not even clicking anything, so just nothing defends while onto Odin. So I can actually do whatever I want this turn. Which, like, Drake seems pretty good, but maybe just a couple militias is better. Since I'm not actually attacking yet. A Drake would attack, of course, but it only attacks for 1. Sort of. Actually, a Drake, like, threatens to attack for a lot, and I might well make good on it. I might just swing with everything and buy a Matrix. This threatens 11. They're gonna have to defend against that. Are they? No, they don't, actually. But whatever I do, I kind of want 2 attackers, right? At least, well, 2 attack. I don't want 1 militia. If I get 1, I'm getting 2. And if I'm getting 2, I'm actually clicking to attack, not holding back, right? So in that case, like, militia's not actually better than Drake, it's worse. I think I'm gonna take the Drake just to sell off my Blast Forge and, like... Granularity kind of sucks this turn, but actually it doesn't matter. I'd like an NG next turn, but I can't really do that if I'm getting something good. If I swing with everything, you have to lose a splitter? That's probably worth. Or lose the Odin. That would also work. Hang on, do you? Yeah, you get to keep 6 health alive. Oh! You have to lose 2 splitters. Or a Matrix and a splitter. Or Odin and a splitter. Interesting. Attacking with everything seems pretty good. And I can get, like, Matrix plus maybe Wall. What are they threatening? Assuming they lose a splitter. 6, 10. Yeah, this is fine. They have to lose at least 1 attack, and probably 2. What do they attack for to exploit this? 9 and 8 both exploit? No. Yeah, 9 and 8 both exploit. They have convenient ways to do that. They'd have to click the Odin. 4, 8. Yeah, and then... Maybe they could just lose both splitters onto Matrix. 4, 5, 9, 4, 8, something like that. I think I'm okay with that. It's better than, like, holding drones. They didn't lose any attack. What did I miscount? Help! This is awful for me. I think. What did I get wrong? I guess I just, like, They absorbed onto Odin and sacked Matrix, and that all makes perfect sense, and means they have 6 health left with just 2 splitters. I don't know why I thought they couldn't do that. At any rate, it's not a terrible gambit. This is a tough play for them to make. Can I put together 10 defense next turn? It's gonna be a bit rough, but I can hold back a splitter if I want, and still breach. Okay. Well, 5 attack also exploits, I guess. I didn't really consider a number this low, although I should have. I guess I just attack with everything but the Drake here? It's a pretty good exploit to attack for 8. They're attacking for either 5, which kills a drone, or 7, which kills a wall. This should maybe be a splitter. I'm pretty low on ammunition here for my Odin. But I like the flexible attack. Yeah, since I'm actually not over the absorb barrier anymore, Militia's a lot better than Splitter. I'm no longer that interested in clicking my Odin. Ooh. Oh! I love to see you click your Drake. I get to keep my drone. Shouldn't you buy another Drake here instead of those splitters? Didn't we talk about this last time I was in your stream? You have enough forges that a Drake is better. Yeah, there's someone in the chat telling him to do that, I bet. Okay, and since I'm clicking the splitter anyway, I don't want to click the militias. I'll click the Odin instead. Oh, that kills the splitter. Fine. Now, supposing that they just attack for 7, that's fine. Ah, they only have like 2 flexible attack, which means odd numbers, right? And those are all fine with me. Any even number exploits. So they have a free splitter hold, I guess? That's fine, though. I'll take it. Oh no, 9 is an exploit. Whoops. Right, since I can only defend with odd numbers, but that doesn't mean I can comfortably defend every odd number, right? It means I can only increase or decrease my defense by like 3, basically. I can't keep 2 health alive, and I can't keep 5 health alive. Those are the numbers you could attack for, because all my flex defense is this one wall, basically. Opponent has a lot more permanent attack than I do. And I'm not really making use of this extra threat that I have very effectively. I guess my militias are sort of making use of the threat by letting me not attack if I want. But that's not exactly winning. Turning my militias into drones. Yeah, I don't know. I should probably just sack the Odin on defense at about now, right? To let me build more real attackers. Are supplies interesting? Not really. I think I should attack for 0 this turn? Well, I don't know. It's basically 2 militia clicks to give him a drone, right? It's not actually that great a deal. It would let me buy an Auric, so it's actually like getting 3 gold. But I don't think I like that anyway. Ah, and this way I get to keep my splitter back as insurance against the Drake click. Yeah. It would be really nice to hold back 1 drone so that I can still maintain the threat of absorbing on Odin and clicking the Odin because Splitter's still alive. The Auric Impulse is preventing that, right? It would be quite cool to threaten for like 5, 13, 15 next turn, which the Auric Impulse doesn't let me do. So maybe it should be this. If they go absolutely nuts with their Drakes, I threaten 15. They have what? 8, 11, 12. Sorry. They just have 11. This drum is not normally a defender. I'm threatening 15. They would have to click both Drakes to kill this drone. And then they'd have to come up with like 4 defense. That's pretty easy. They could build a matrix or something, but I can exploit that. I don't know. This seems playable. Just not sure. This, like, in order to stop me from making this threat, they still have to click both Drakes. I guess I'm okay with them doing that. if that's what you want to do. I don't mind sacking the Odin. I'm not thrilled about sacking the Splitter, but... This way they have to spend a turn, like, disposing of my threat. Oh, 6 actually is a good amount to attack for? I was thinking 4, but 4 is dumb. So is 5, so let's just not do either of those, right? I can't really, like, spend my money. This Auric Field a little bit dumb, so I think I should just, like, buy... Attack for 8... No, not 7. 8 is a bit weird. It's wall, drone. This Drake click just kills a drone. It actually sucks. Just buy Engies. I could buy another Forge, but I don't want it. I could buy a second Auric, I guess. But is that good? Like, how much are they probably attacking for? Like, more like 7 or something, right? Maybe 8 or 9? This might be too many NGs. What if I did this? I kind of like this better. Then next turn I can actually click both Drakes and rebuy the Forges if I want. They should probably click one Drake to make me lose both NGs. It's a lot of granularity to lose. I'd like to attack for a 9, which is both Drakes and 1 Militia being clicked. Okay, now 10's fine. Or really any number's fine if they hold back that drone. Conduit for Nevos or for force fields? They both seem a little ambitious. I still think you should click the Drake, though. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit expensive to replace. Maybe it's a bit hard to defend without access to 2 blue. Not sure. Still granular. Clicking 1 Drake exploits here. 1 Drake and no militias. For me, that is. My click, not his click. It's a bit hard to do now that I don't have any Auric Impulses coming around, of course. Whoa. want to attack for 7? That's just clicking nothing, right? This can't be right. The chat won't let him do this. You can't build Matrix and hold drone. There's no way. Wall supplies are sort of an issue. Maybe that's why he's trying this Matrix. Yeah, good work, chat. I don't know. I've watched Capulet streams, and very often he's just like playing by himself and no one's giving him any advice, and that's all very lovely. Let's see, what do you do? You want to attack for 6? Yeah. Or 9? 9 would also work, but it's a bit harder. Let's just attack for 6. Yeah, make a splitter. I have enough militias. This Auric is pretty greedy. Should maybe just be a ninja. What can he do to hurt my granularity here? Attack for 6, basically? Can't do that. You have to attack for at least 8. So I guess it would be 9 then? 4, 7, 9, yeah. But you can't do that. You only have even numbers of attack to work with. Yeah. And you can't go all the way down to 6. Clicking everything would do it. That would hurt my granularity for sure. But it's sort of hard, isn't it? Opponent still has more permanent attack than I do. I'm like up a drone and I have better flexible attack options. And I'm just catching up in permanent attack. I'm not going to be behind after this turn, but my opponent can presumably build some attack this coming turn, so I'm just sort of behind in that way. I have to find some way to catch up, I think. I'm not sure what that would be. I mean, I could try attacking for 9 instead of building the splitter. Replace the blast forge, but I don't think that's actually good. I'm not going to pressure him down with just Drake clicks, I don't think. Well, maybe I am. Wall supply is an issue. He has a lot of splitters, though, to hold back. I worry. I think I have to cut this and build an NG. I'm worried he's going to be able to actually click a bunch of stuff here and really hurt my granularity. Attacking for 6 would be cool, but well. What about 10? Ah, right, 9's a bit. 4, 7, 10 sucks, right? 12? 12 is a number, right? This removes all his granularity for next turn and cashes in some of my threat without replacing it, which definitely does. Like, it's a problem. But the threat is doing a lot more now than it will be next turn, I think. Alright, I don't know. I'm gonna try this. This is getting my militias into a position where they're a lot more effective, right? Getting rid of all the granularity is quite valuable for me. I just need to attack for 6 or something? Kill a matrix. Are these Nevos gonna do it? Like, they're cool, don't get me wrong. They add a lot of threat. And the Drakes already have a lot of threat. But they make your defense just absolutely abysmal. Can't do that. Alright, well this is committing pretty hard to killing me very soon. Basically, like, has to be with this Drake swing, right? Also, why are you clicking this Drake? Ah, it kills my granularity. I see. So that next turn's Drake clicks are more effective? Okay, well, a thing to consider is absorbing less well this turn, if it keeps me in a better position than this big old Nevo turn, right? And granularity is not my problem here, is it? Oh, I see. I blew my second blast forge, which means that yeah. Okay, I should definitely do this then. Because now I absorb more. Hang on, stop. Oh, I can't keep the Matrix alive. I see. Right. I absorbed quite poorly this turn. Okay, well, this sucks. Oh, I over-defended! I held too many! He doesn't have 2 blast forges! What an idiot! Ugh. If I'd clicked 2 more of these, I could build another Engie. Gross. No, you freeze the Matrix for sure. Ugh. I feel like this was really, really important. And I would have been able to click one more drone this turn, which means I could replace the forge. Oh no. Alright, so question. Is clicking the blast forge actually good right now? It seems good because it's killing drones, but if he would have to hold those drones next turn... Okay, maybe this is the idea. Hold the splitter instead. It's generally better to hold the splitter than 3 drones. Even if you're killing a drone with the splitter click, I think that's probably true. Let's go with this. He still has a wall left. This feels bad. These force fields and splitters are making me sad. I think he's going to be able to absorb for longer than I am, and then I'm going to lose. I just have to hold 1,000,000 drones and then lose. I can't even build a splitter. Hang on. He has no blast forges now. So I can build a splitter if I want. But it might be better to do this. Trading a force field for a blast forge? Ugh. Conduits are overpowered. I think this is better than buying a splitter. Right? Like, is it really going to be able to defend next turn? I guess it could if I held more drones. If I do this, am I still absorbing next turn? I guess that's a pretty important question, right? They're attacking for 9, 4, 10. I guess this is still defending. I think I'll go for it. So the thing is, that my opponent clearly wins this game, right? They have enough splitters to hold. But they've been failing to hold splitters earlier, and so I'm sort of like still playing on in case they don't realize they should do it. Ugh, they don't even have to. Yuck. you just force field, and that's it, right? What? I'm not gonna have a Matrix next... Okay, I guess... I see. You can freeze it to breach more stuff. Fine, I guess. I'm not absorbing, but... that does let you kill my attackers sooner. Yeah, I mean, this is just over. Ugh, long game. I'm not excited to analyze this, honestly. I'm not sure. Clicked Odin too much, maybe? Didn't buy enough permanent attack? Like here, was this Odin click really that good? I guess it did a lot of damage. But clicking a Drake would have been just as good, right? I think. If I attack for 6, attacking for 6 is actually... I guess it's not as good, because they lose wall onto Matrix, which absorbs 3. But this game is not close to over, and so the Odin clicks... When your opponent isn't doing anything, if they're just an inert, like, lump that just takes damage and, like, scores it up, as in the campaign mission where you are, like, learning about when to click Odin, you only want to click Odin if you're within 4 turns of the end of the game. That's what that mission teaches you, right? Because you get 4 damage now and lose 1 damage every turn forever, and that's only a good trade if forever is 4 or fewer turns. And so from that point of view, it's clearly wrong to click Odin, right? But when your opponent is a human being who, like, buys things with his money, that's not at all true, right? 4 damage now is worth a lot more than 4 damage eventually. And so it's harder to judge. My understanding is that it's usually correct to click Odin, like, if you have a big absorber. A bigger absorber than Odin. Because, you know, making your opponent buy 4 health worth of stuff to defend with instead of attackers is great. But here the game went on for so much longer, and I disadvantaged myself with all these Odin clicks. I don't know, at this point, like, I guess I'm still down 1 permanent attack, right? No, I'm tied. I'm half a turn behind. I just caught up to where he is, and then he bought more attackers. Yeah. And then this turn I don't catch up, because his Drake is so much pressure. Ugh. Is the first Odin that, like, big a deal? Probably. I got first Drake. Maybe I should have even clicked Odin here? No. Not to just kill 3 engineers and make it hard for myself to defend. Like, I couldn't get the Drake if I clicked Odin. I feel like the militias were pretty effective. Maybe I got too many. Maybe, like, just 2 was fine and the rest should have been splitters. the third one, I guess. Maybe even just one would have been better. I didn't often... Yeah, I don't know. I clicked both of them a couple times. I don't think the problem was which attacker I got, so much as that, like, I didn't have enough attackers. I had hopes at some point, once I kind of had more drones. Let's look at the graphs, actually. They're probably kind of hard to read. And they don't show me permanent attack numbers, which is what I care about more than the surges. The economy is sort of misleading, too, because of all the auric impulses. Maybe this turn I could have done something. Like, right? This was the turn where I chose to give up my Odin. If I'd held one drone instead of buying this auric impulse, I could have threatened a lot more, and my opponent couldn't take this turn. I don't know. I think if they called my bluff, I couldn't do it, though. Clicking everything to attack and not even breach an attacker. But it breaches the matrix. I don't know. Anyway, for quite a while here, I'm just clearly lost. In fact, here, I'm clearly lost, right? I have more drones, and I have this, like, influx of gold from selling aurics, but I'm down 2 attack, and my drone advantage is not nearly enough to make up for that. You can think of these aurics as drones, right? And so I'm up like about 3 drones in exchange for 2 attack and also like better breach proof transition. Well, it's not breach proof, but the opposite, right? I'm a little bit better breach proof, but still pretty awful, whereas like he can hold more splitters to avoid being breached. So I think that more than makes up for my economic advantage, which is pretty slight. I got some cool exploits with the militias, but it just sort of added up to not attacking much. Big mistake here with the Nevo. We talked about that already. I don't know, maybe I could have come back from that point, although I don't think so. He just has so many splitters. Alright, well, too bad. Well played. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.